Good morning, and as most people would say today, happy Friday. Now, I want you to have a think about something. When you look at, say, for instance, a Facebook book or a social media post, and it is coming to Friday or it's coming to the weekend, you'll see like happy hump day or thank God it's Friday or yay, it's Friday weekend. And that's been conditioned into us to live for weekends. But what that's slowly doing to us is rushing the moments in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, because when Sunday comes, you're worried about Monday again. So you're wasting kind of like 5 days out of the 7 because we have been conditioned just to live for the weekend. And I can understand when we work full time, we get tired, especially as we get older. We just can't be bothered, or we think, oh, I've got to get up early tomorrow, so I'm just going to stay in tonight. I really don't want to go out and meet the girls or go for dinner or go for a walk, whatever the situation. But if we spend the majority of our life living for Friday and Saturday, how much time are we actually wasting? How much time are we not living in the moment from Sunday to Thursday? Isn't it interesting when you break it down and you say, well, Monday, you get up and you're like, oh God, work, or oh, I've got a busy day, I've got a busy schedule, I'm just so busy and it's just so stressful. And you're instantly putting that negative thought and process into your day, And this is what kind of like society has taught us, is that Monday is a busy, stressful day, it's a work day, and, we should just be living for Friday. And yeah, I get it, but we can find good days within the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays, and the Thursdays. We can find ways to do things to enjoy that day, and it doesn't have to be strenuous or exhausting. It could just be maybe having a games night at home or doing something different to your normal Monday routine. Like most people, and I have done this, when I was working in university sector, I have done this where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'd get up at 4:45, I'd leave the house by 6, I'd get to work at like 8 o'clock because I had like a 3-4 hour commute a day, which was insane to think of it now. And you would get into work and you would be stifled and you would be like, oh, I can't wait for 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever the time you work till. And then you would get involved in maybe office politics that are happening, or, that negative atmosphere that starts to stir within office environments and stuff. Or you're just feeling that you're not being seen in your job. So that then also affects your Mondays to Thursdays, because you really don't want to be in that job and it pisses you off and you feel stressed and you don't feel like that anyone is paying you any attention. And so you're living for the Friday when you knock off work and you're just going to go and either party, see friends, whatever you're going to do. That's what you're doing. So I can understand if you have that type of thing happening. But when you get home, you need to have a reset. You need to have a way to say, right, today might have not been great, but this is my home, this is my environment, this is my safe space to be able to just let go of all that and to have your sanctuary in your home. Whether that's, if you have family that's coming in and saying, I just need 5 minutes to decompress, or, 5 minutes before you walk into the house, I don't know, sit in the car for 5 minutes, or meditate, listen to some music that lifts you up, that lifts your spirits, or on that way home when you're walking from the train or from the bus or whatever it is. Take those few moments to reconnect with yourself, the person you are that's not in the job environment. Do something that you enjoy in the evening, whether that's cooking a really nice meal, doing a games night, going for a walk with your neighbours, or inviting a neighbour around for something to eat, or a games night, or, having the kids play with their next door neighbours or whatever, having a braai outside in your garden, or a barbecue, as they call it in the UK. Find something to rebalance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because life is short, and if we are only living for the Fridays, we're wasting the majority of our days, and we're rushing our lives to be in the future all the time and not living in that present moment. And it's in those present moments where you find that peace, that laughter, that sense of inner child, that sense of learning something new, being. You're missing out on so many bits when you are just chasing Friday and Saturday. So how can you change that? Refrain and retrain your wording. So when it comes to Thursday, or, like most people do on Friday, yay, it's Friday, woohoo, or whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. Rather say, you know what? I had a great Wednesday and I did something completely out of my normal and it made me feel really good. Go to an open mic at your local, or, go to a rock choir, or go to a book club. There's all these things that are happening in your local communities, so why not find them? And it doesn't have to be a late evening. It just needs you to take a little bit of effort to go out of your comfort zone of coming in from work or whatever it is, and shutting the door and just being and not actually living. So don't rush for your Fridays. Live in that present. Live in the now, enjoying the now. Because if you don't, when you get to older, you're going to be like, what did I do with my days? And yes, a lot of us are in jobs that we do not like. I have been one of those people. But if we let that control our narrative and let it control our Mondays to Thursdays, and even our Sundays, because you start worrying about the Monday, what are we going to do? We're just going to be consumed by moving to the future and not living in the present. So think about today what you can do to change that up a bit for you, for your lifestyle, for what it is you need. Maybe go swimming at your local swimming pool, whatever it is. Go for a walk. Even if it's for 10 minutes, just do something that doesn't just make work be your priority of the day, and that you are living for Friday. Have a great day. Enjoy. And find something in the present moment that brings you some joy. Life is short. Have a good one.